Hi everyone. Today I want to give you a little bit of help with citing and referencing. In order to avoid problems with plagiarism, we always have to cite the sources of the information we are presenting in our posts, in our papers, or in our presentations. So I want to just walk you through this process to make sure that everyone is clear on what they need to do. So let's get started. Start with a sentence. The death penalty is not a deterrent to crime. This isn't necessarily true, I'm just using it as an example. And let's say this information came from an article written by someone by the name of Wilson. We ran across an article or a book, and let's say it's an article in this case, and it's written by Wilson. So the citation includes the last name of the author and the year of publication. Let's say it was published in 2013. Now this sentence was written entirely in my own words, which means it's paraphrased. I didn't copy it word for word. I don't have sections of the sentence that are copied word for word. I took the information about the death penalty and deterrence and rewrote the idea in my own words. And that's to include the author and the year in the citation at the end of the sentence. The second one is a quotation. So let's do a quoted passage. The death penalty no longer is viewed as a viable tool to prevent murders. When you do a quotation, it needs to be placed in quotation marks to distinguish it from your own writing, and I've done that here. So I started with quotation mark at the beginning, and I have a quotation mark at the end. Now comes the citation. So let's say it was written by someone named Phillips, and it was published in 2015. We need one more element when we're citing a quoted passage, and that is the page number. Close the parentheses, period, and that's it. Okay, so the first one is paraphrased. Second one is word for word from a source placed in quotation marks. The citation differs only in that you also include the page number. Let's do one more sentence. However, the conventional thinking is now being challenged. This is a sentence that I wrote based upon my own assessment of the evidence. It didn't come from a source. I am making a factual claim, however, thus I'm going to have to follow up with additional sentences that include the evidence upon which the conclusion I reached is based. But this sentence itself does not have to be cited or referenced because it's my own thought. The evidence that it's based on, however, will be presented, and that evidence has to be cited and referenced. Okay, so three sentences here. One is paraphrased from a source, has to be cited. Second is a quoted passage from a source, has to be cited. The third one is my own thinking, does not have to be cited, although the evidence will have to be presented in subsequent sentences to support the claim that I made. All right, let's go to the reference section. Have to have a reference section at the end in which the full information on the publication will be presented for the reader. All the references will be in alphabetical order by last name of the authors. So Phillips would be first because obviously Phillips comes before Wilson. Last name, first initial of the first name, and the first initial of the middle name. In some cases you won't have a middle name. You don't have to worry about it. Publication year. So Phillips, it was 2015. Put a period after it. The title of the book. period after it. The title of books also have to be placed in italics. Okay. Then you follow with the location of the publishing house. So let's say it was Chicago, Illinois, and the publisher. Good Books Publishers. Okay, so author, year of publication, title of the book, location of the publisher, and the name of the publisher. One thing I would add to that is that if you have an edition, that is placed right after the title of the book. So the edition would go here. The edition part is not going to be in italics, so you want to take that out. And that's it. A lot of books, like textbooks, will have multiple editions, so you want to indicate which edition the information that you used came from. All right. So let's go to the next reference, which is the Wilson reference. Basically the same. Author, year of publication. Now, the Wilson piece is actually an article from a journal. Well, let's assume that it is. So okay, death penalty and deterring offenders. Articles in journals, the title of articles in journals, you don't have to italicize those. Those should not be italicized. But what you will be doing is italicizing the journal that it appears in. So let's say this is from the Journal of Crime. Okay, the Journal of Crime needs to be placed in italics. You then follow it with the volume number of the journal. Let's say it's 45. And then the issue, let's say it's issue 3. And then conclude with the page number range. So let's say it was on pages 110 through 125. So you can see this is pretty straightforward. There are a few minor things to keep in mind, like italicizing. You'll put periods after each of the elements, so you have a period after the authors, after the date, after the title. The exception in a journal is that you follow it with a comma, and then the volume and issue, comma, and page number. Italics for the title of books, italics for the title of the journal in which a journal article is published. And that's pretty much it. Now, if you look in the course, you will see a link to additional APA information and examples. I provided this to help you with this. You will find information on sources other than books and journal articles. You'll find sources such as videos, perhaps newspaper articles or websites. We're not going to use a lot of information from some of those sources because we do want to focus on academic material, but there will be occasions when we use them, so it's good to have that information at your fingertips, and I provided a link to give you quick and easy access to lots of different examples. If you have any questions about any of this as we move through the course, please don't hesitate to send me an email. I'll be more than happy to provide whatever additional clarification you need.